can rearrange our bar stools.
Oh, that
We're back?
We're back.
That would be
Already?
wiggy.
That was fast.
That
And
was-
Beth commented on the K-Raj video, so I just noticed that. So we were good.
I don't know.
Still doing okay.
Beth, talk to us. Beth.
It must be a weird
Maybe
Facebook
anybody
issue where
else?
it's not showing
Is
it.
there anybody else out there?
Hello? Are we in a vacuum? What's happened?
It's all good.
Maybe.
It's all
Oh,
good.
well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here.
Emma's probably got some stuff to talk about.
I could go on and on.
Well, so you got something coming up, right?
I do. So
Talk to us about it.
Yeah, I see
Farm
it again.
Fest.
It just came up again. Okay.
That's funny.
Whatever.
Now it shows. Now I'm
September
convinced.
1 has now passed, and I keep my hands a little full these days, so what I haven't got to share yet is my all-time favorite Mimi with the black cat
Yes.
and his little scarf that says September 1st, I'm ready.
Isn't that clever?
Yes.
I like it.
So the Garden Outpost Harvest Shop opens this Friday, September the 6th.
Woohoo!
So I know you all, are you not a fall lover?
I'm a fall. Oh no, I love the fall.
Oh, okay.
Fall's my favorite. No,
Okay.
that was an
It is the best.
enthusiastic yay.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure. So
Fall's the best.
everybody loves fall.
Yeah.
Everybody's excited for fall.
Yes.
In fact, you may have been so excited for fall that you were duped into buying a mum on the 27th of July at a big box store that shall remain nameless.
I'm leaving on that note. Bye.
Okay, fine. Be that way.
Mum's a word. She's gone.
She's out.
That's because Lauren is wise and she buys her mums locally. Anyway, but it is actually time now, and with any luck, in the next 7 to 10 days, we will see more and more of those fall-like temperatures, which you can also celebrate at your sport, you know, because it's your sport season.
Love it.
And so we'd love to have everybody come over and celebrate fall with us. Now, there's some things I think we should all be reminded of. Just, I'm all about being authentic and telling my friends how it is. There is no such thing as a bargain anymore. There's no such
What
thing
do you mean by that?
There is no such thing as a bargain for a producer that is growing a pumpkin or a mum or anything that you might shop for this fall. There is no such thing as a bargain for me as I try to procure those products for our friends and neighbors. And no, my store is not a garage sale.
So what I hear you saying
So-
is stop voting for Democrats.
That's exactly what I said.
That's what I thought of.
Oh,
Will
wow.
understands
That's
me.
exactly what I thought.
I did not have the Dakota ring. I was not picking up on that. So I thought I just heard you say everything's expensive right now. But
Yeah.
maybe that's the same
Things-
thing.
Follow the
Is that a
logical-
synonym?
Follow the
Things
logical
cost
thought
more,
process.
Okay, but at the Outpost,
Oh, wow.
my goal, along with the help of my teammates, is to take the very best care of our product. We get it as close to home as we can, so it hasn't spent days and days on a semi-trailer being bounced around all the way across the country. So we're trying to support local producers. Of course, your dollars help pay for my child to participate in youth league soccer. And we try to have nice stuff. You can buy the $5 mum over there, but just take a look at it.
Then you won't have nice things.
And see what you're getting for the $5.
Right.
You get what you pay for a lot of
You
times.
may be nursing that thing along for a while.
So,
Probably came from China.
possibly. If you want your mums to come back next year, you need to buy them at the 1st of September, and you need to plant them immediately. Okay? Mums that sit on your porch until Halloween and then are planted have an extremely reduced potential success rate of being planted and coming back the next year. Also, whether it's because producers don't know or because the price of plastic is so insanely high that they can't afford the little plant tag, a lot of times anymore, I can't guarantee that it's a perennial mum. So there's two kinds of mums, you know. There's garden mums, which are genetically designed to have more blooms, more branches, more color, right? Because they are going to sit on a porch and look pretty. You also have perennial mums, which, unless cared for pretty meticulously, are going to be more open, more branchy, fewer blooms, but you can put that puppy in the ground and it'll take root and it'll come back for you year after year.
Gotcha.
You got to be careful. They'll bloom in May if you don't prune them. I had that happen to me when I was a newlywed. But there's a difference.
So how do you prune them? You prune them in the spring?
Yeah, so if you do have a mum that has come back, it is just like there's another crop that escaped, just flew out the window, but you have to pinch them back all season long, or they just come up and they make their blooms.
And then they'll be
So-
brown by fall? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and then they're long gone. So, like, you pinch them off until the 4th of July, and then you let them bush and set their buds, and they should bloom at about the right time.
Okay.
So, I mean, we've already missed that if you happen to have one in your yard. But for next year, be ready.
I planted a weeping willow tree
Near your,
near the pond.
yeah?
Yeah. I was going to say, I hope you put it near the water.
I put it by the pond.
There
Did
you go.
Put it away from the septic system.
Mostly, yes.
Okay. Because that's a thing.
That's the
You
thing.
don't want it near there.
Well, it's too late now.
You don't want to,
I don't, if you just planted
a
it
weeping
this
willow,
week,
not a
it may
pooping
not-
willow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
don't need that.
really like to go towards the water.
Well, right, yeah.
Right. So the pond, not the septic line.
Yeah.
Which, as you might imagine, would be really tasty for a weeping willow
I
tree.
suppose it would. So
They
if
would
it does
enjoy that.
well, we'll know why.
Yeah. And your septic system will talk to you about it later.
That's right. Years old. It's probably time for a new one anyway.
Yeah,
What are you
yuck.
gonna do?
Yuck.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
This is going downhill.
It really is.
Not on your A game.
I'm
I
tired.
want to ask about your
I'm so
hairdo.
tired.
You're
What-
really still doing the new
I don't know why
hair
you're
thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
mean,
just,
Sign of wisdom.
I went on
or-
sabbatical and came back an old man. I don't know. You talk about having a,
Congratulations.
yes, yeah. You talked about having an adult moment earlier. I was driving home yesterday and at a stoplight and I saw Shayna texted and it was like, okay, she's asking me something and I'm adjusting to having bifocals, but I had taken these off and had my sunglasses on. And so as I'm reading the text, I'm doing one of these
Yeah,
with
there
my
you go.
sunglasses, trying to figure out why are they not magnifying here on the bottom half of my
Let me ask
sunglasses.
you, bifocals or progressive lenses?
They're bifocals.
Bifocals.
Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I have progressive lenses.
Yeah, so you don't have that line. Yeah.
Don't have a line, but it's just I do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I have to find the right spot. But I've got multiple different
Right.
ranges where I can. But it took me 2 months to
Yeah.
get ready.
I'm in week 3, week 4, and that was a funny moment where I was like, okay, well, I'm definitely getting used to it if I have frames on my
Right,
head
yeah.
and I'm like looking for it. But
I did the
had to laugh at
whole.
myself.
I'd put them on for half an hour, get a headache, and just I can't do this, and take them off. And I did that for months.
Yeah.
And finally, one day, I popped them on, and it was like, okay, they're fine.
yeah,
Like,
I'm getting there. I'm getting closer.
So how does this newfangled gadget translate to your soccer? Now, is it boys or girls in the fall?
Yeah, I don't wear glasses when I'm coaching. It's boys in the fall.
Boys in the
So,
fall.
Yep.
Okay, how's that going?
It's going well. We had our first game Friday. We got to dodge all the thunderstorms, so we had 2 delays in the first half, which made a really difficult first half. We were only up 1-0, but we were up 5-0 toward the end of the game, and we ended up giving up 3 goals in 3 minutes, so we won 5-3. But it was.
Interesting.
We were getting
it's like a baseball game.
Well, we were getting some players, some newer players, some experience.
Gotcha.
JV was canceled because of the storm, so I wouldn't say we put in JV kids, but we were kind of experimenting. We're trying to figure out what we have. And
Early in the season.
Yeah, so we made some mistakes that we'll learn from, but we won 5-3. Our first, our home opener is today, 4:30 versus Parkview. So come on out and support the boys at 4:30, and then I believe there's a volleyball game this evening. So you could get at the doubleheader there, hit soccer, then volleyball. And
It's pretty cool.
yeah,
I too have been up to the school. The school. I won't
The
be.
school.
I won't be any more specific because that would be unnecessary.
Okay.
But I've been to the school already this year, and I am very disturbed by the amount of tall, skinny cans. Right?
energy drinks.
What do we got? NOS, Kickstart,
Yeah.
Monster.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's almost like a concert happened and they left their beer cans behind. They're everywhere.
I'm going to go on a limb here, but kids don't need that.
I don't think so. Like, I was
Yeah.
like,
Is
drink coffee, please. Why won't you drink coffee?
I'm not sure
Even-
the kids need that either.
Yeah,
you know
I drank coffee in high school.
Coffee
but
is a natural
Well, sure.
chemical,
yeah,
right?
yeah. The caffeine is naturally produced
Yeah.
through the roasting of the coffee
So,
beans.
I think that's safer. And I'm not a big coffee fan. You know, I tell you all day long how much I don't like the smell.
So we have a product down at Storytime that is it's called Lotus. It's a natural energy drink that we mix in with the spicy water, the carbonated water. So it's it's not got all the chemicals that a Red Bull or a NOS or whatever has in it. So if you like, and of course you can put any flavor, orange, raspberry, whatever, you can put whatever syrups you want in it.
I will usually go for a Bang energy drink because those, somewhere in my research, it was they do something better, more naturally.
Just a little less
There you go.
unsafe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and less caffeine. That's the problem with those energy drinks is the amount of caffeine. When you're taking in 200, 300, 400 milligrams of caffeine all in one shot.
Let's just be realistic. We didn't drink coffee in high school. We drank Jolt Cola. And
I did not drink Jolt, but I do remember Jolt Cola. That was
Twice
middle
the
school.
caffeine
That was
and
middle
all
school
the
for me.
sugar.
High school for you. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I
it was
just
high
found it
school for me.
concerning,
Cola.
food
Boy, that
choices.
should come back.
Speaking
choices.
speaking of coffee, though,
Yeah.
the fall menu's out at Storytime Coffee Company. So the basic the pumpkin spice latte is out, and along with several other fall-only menu items. So
EWG latte.
yeah, that's right. Basic white girl.
It's first day of school for Legacy Prep School.
Oh yeah.
They
I saw the
seem
ribbon
very
cutting.
excited.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was the first day. I thought they had already started.
No, today is first day.
Okay.
Very exciting.
Yeah, we
very exciting.
have some church members that are participating in
Excellent.
that. So
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
It's really good. So.
Now, are you going to be showing up in like person to some of that? I know you're very involved.
I'll probably pop by every once in a while since I'm currently president of the board. Just
Bring your legal advisor to school day, or
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that should be every day in public school, but bring your lawyer day.
No.
Now.
Come on.
Except for
Don't-
Rogersville, which is a fantastic
Well,
school system. We
yeah.
love our Wildcats and our local Rogersville school system, but boy, we're lucky.
We
Blessed.
we need to always recognize there are pockets of this country that cannot be characterized by the west
the broad brush.
and left coasts.
and it could all use some improvement.
Although Springfield could be.
It could, yeah. So, that's why I say pockets. Let's not talk about geography. Let's talk about pockets of sanity versus insanity.
Right up the road. You got
But we do need to be careful not to lump them all in together because
for sure.
there are some amazing public educators and public school systems, and
I can't help,
we are
though,
fortunate
when
to be
when I back
in
off
one.
That just a little bit and think about how much our wonderful public educators that we have, of which we're married to many of them, how much better they could do without government oversight, control, and influence.
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, the wonderful educators we have in our public school systems in Rogersville would be better off teaching in a private school than in a government school.
Better off for themselves, you mean?
Better off for everybody.
Better educators.
It would be better for everyone. They would teach better. The students would learn better. It would be better all around.
Yeah, potentially. But
I
I'll
don't know.
always say I'm grateful for especially Christian educators that are in public school systems, and it would be a frightening thing if all of our Christian educators backed out of public school.
Oh, amen. I'm dreaming of the day when we don't have government schools, that all education is private, and that's.
I mean, back in the day,
That's my dream.
when Will's mom, Mrs. Worsham, was
The
teaching.
first. Mrs. Worsham, the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will's mom.
Yep. Right.
Those were. Did we not all become the high functioning adults we are today because of the way things were done back then?
did.
I mean, I can see that in my mind's eye with those ladies back then. There's a few people taking notice. I also visited the school, not to name any names, but I visited the school where I think they have realized there's an issue. And they have rolled back to basics. So in the elementary classroom that I was in, she showed me her little book. She said, I have a spelling list for the first time in I don't know how many years. She says, we do cursive handwriting, one letter at a time.
Brilliant.
We're doing, phonics. We're doing the basic math problems, right, to do the building blocks. And I said, well, finally, good luck.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Glad to hear it.
And we did. Back then when 40 some odd years ago, when I was in elementary school, you didn't have the state regulators and the federal government and all this mandates coming down and all of that stuff. You really did have local control, even in your public schools. So we're big fans.
The local board, the local, decision makers. And I'm grateful. Yeah, because my experience growing up obviously is very different from what kids are experiencing today. But it's still happening in
I
many
would
ways.
really like to jump on a soapbox about the professional demeanor of those ladies and gents back then also and compare it to now, but maybe I won't do that.
Maybe you won't do that. Yeah, it's all right.
Just plant the seed. I see things.
You could you go down those types of roads and you can dredge up all sorts of things like we used to wear our suits and ties to church every Sunday, and if you didn't do that, it was people would judge you.
But here's where we can go.
Yeah.
We can go with, do we not know how to behave appropriately at certain events?
I mean,
And to bring your mind, even address, attired in a certain way, ready.
decorum, is that what
Yes.
you're speaking of?
Okay.
To do something at certain events.
All right.
Does God care if I wear a t-shirt to church? No.
No.
But, if you go somewhere where a certain event is happening, can you not bring the mindset and the,
I did a wedding on Saturday, and I did wear a suit.
Or you choose not to go to those places. Will doesn't wear a suit, and he chooses not to go to the courtroom.
Go to
because
places
that
where he
would
has
be
to wear a suit.
appropriate.
I did appear via Zoom in court several weeks ago.
You put your robe over your shorts and t-shirt.
Well, no, I was not the judge. I was appearing
okay.
as an attorney,
Yeah.
which I rarely do these days. But I did. I sat at my computer with my shorts and my dress shirt, and
Buttoned
my
up,
tie,
yeah.
and my suit coat on
Yeah.
in front of the computer.
That's
So
awesome.
Zoom, I was.
So
had
I
the-
think
had the suit on.
we've come a long way. Like, we understand that God does not require that of us in church, as an
Right.
example we were using. But when we're talking about our kids and the next generation, the things that we wear to certain events, they watch that, and then that's what they're going to do, or
Mm-hmm.
worse. So if you don't want them to learn how to appear correctly in society, got to set the example.
Yeah.
In some places they spend a lot of time, like, I don't know, school.
Well, I'm a big proponent of parents being the ones that kind of set the tone for those things. Like my kids, I wasn't ever counting on the church or the school system to raise my kids. They were valuable tools as I was raising my kids along
This
with
is
Shayna.
true.
So
This
it's
is true.
at the end of the day, it's up to you, mom, dad, how your kids are going to turn out. You can't force them into a certain way of being, but man, you can set the tone.
It
Train
does.
up a child in the way.
Yep, the bent, right? It refers to the
starts
bent of the
there.
bow, the way he is bent, and he shall return to it. So it's up to you to determine how that bow is bent and how you're going to help bend it the right way.
Yeah,
and-
good luck with that.
Yep.
Speaking of
You might get sued for acknowledging that no, they are indeed a boy, but it's that's another
Speaking
story
of
for another day.
bentness, where are your fellows at? Aren't
My
they doing
sons?
something new?
Yeah,
this
they
fall?
moved to Kansas City, and they're
wow.
both studying at Spurgeon College and playing soccer at Spurgeon College, and one studying ministry and the other studying business. So it was a good move for them, to move out, have their own apartment, have roommates, and definitely it's a really solid environment up there.
Spurgeon. Wow. I wonder, where they're coming from.
Yeah, they are the undergraduate program of Midwestern Baptist Theological Seminary,
go.
and they are it's an amazing school. It really is. But yeah,
Was-
they have the Spurgeon Library up there, and it is the largest museum, if you will, library of all of Spurgeon's
Was
resources.
Spurgeon a Baptist?
Yep. They claim him.
Yeah.
They claim
Okay.
him.
I'm like,
Yeah.
all right. Well, they should.
So,
They should.
and Midwestern's probably the most reformed of all the
Yeah.
Southern Baptist seminaries. And that's the weird thing about Southern Baptists is that they don't claim to be one way or the other. There are a lot of reformed
Yeah,
people in the
ton.
but not all are. So
No.
a lot of them are congruous like me, and
Oh boy.
principalist.
I'm not sure that word means what. I don't think you're using it the way I use it.
Reformed or congruous?
Congruous.
Well, it's
that's okay.
called mild Calvinism,
Calvinist light.
Calvinist light. Yeah.
All of Will's
I have to remind people, Paul was not a Calvinist; he was a Jew.
Yeah.
some of Will's greatest successes.
talked like
they
one.
are.
Only if you put him through your lens.
We'll save this for another day.
I love the classic line. I just read Romans 9 and became a Calvinist. Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that.
You were saying, Emma.
I was saying that some of your greatest successes are also highly functioning citizens at this time of year.
Yeah, to some degree or the other.
If we really, what we could do, parents of male children, we could launch off that box. We could do that together. We have that in common.
We do.
You have
Yeah.
a daughter, though. I forgot.
I do have a daughter. She's a senior in high school.
Doing
And she's doing
wonderful
great
things.
too. Yeah. Pole vaulting and dancing and looking
Lots
at
of-
colleges.
Lots of boyisms here.
For sure.
Thing. Boy, she could wind up on the other side of the field if she got on the wrong side of that thing, couldn't she?
Yeah, she's pretty lightweight.
Slight.
So, yeah.
She's a slight
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You know,
She's a brave thing though
that bend
too.
getting on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Fun.
She's
Take it
a
off.
daredevil for sure.
Guess so. My goodness.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
pretty fun.
Interesting thing, Jack was home for the weekend a little bit, and he's packing up going Sunday night to go back. We're like, it's Sunday. He's like, yeah, I got class tomorrow because CFO doesn't believe in Labor Day.
Oh, that's awesome. That's hilarious.
Interesting.
So it's like I got to work and we're going to class. Like, no communists at CFO.
What's
We're
he
working for a living.
What's he working at down
He
there?
is at the CAF still, but he's sort of like a manager level now since he's a sophomore.
Nice.
So he's has some oversight responsibilities, is my understanding of what he's doing down there. But and then
Well,
he's
that's
like,
interesting.
And he's like, I got to, he's got to go work in the CAF, and then to like 11:30, he's got class at noon, and something else, and then he's got to go back because he's working a double.
Yeah.
So they work, I think, 3 or 4 hour shifts. And so
Yeah.
if they work a double, they're working 6 or 8 hours. I can't remember.
I call it a parenting success when your kids actually want to go to work.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's a thing I'm proud of, that my kids understand that.
I just can't wait I want to go to sleep so I can wake up so I can get after it again.
Well, you should have those feelings, right?
I do.
Yeah.
And that's not to say I don't have moments of dread too, but I think that goes with any profession.
That's
But
humanism, right?
but no, I love what I do.
No, but surely we've all had those jobs. I mean, I have, early, not even as a lawyer. Once I became a lawyer, really, I didn't really feel that way anymore. But some of those like summer jobs, you have to work as a kid and all that stuff, and through college and stuff, it's just Sunday night, I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. I have to get.
I worked at a day camp for many summers while I was in college and a little bit in law school. And one of those summers, just by virtue of the way some things happened, I took some extra positions because some people like quit and dropped out. I was working 11-hour days, 5 days a week in college, and bringing it down at $4.15 an hour. I mean, I was making the bank.
Yeah.
And we thought we were awesome.
$4.85 for me. And
Yeah,
remember,
$4.85, yeah.
That's where I
Well,
started.
in my
My first
freshman
was $3.35. Was my
Yeah.
first summer job was $3.35 an hour. Yeah.
my freshman year, I had 20 hours that I was taking, and had 3 jobs.
Yep.
And it's just one of those things where some people are like, "I never see you on campus." I'm like, "I'm working."
I think there's generally one explanation for most of this success that we have less of now, and I believe that is energy.
Energy.
Yes.
Energy. Well,
Yeah.
they're sucking down these energy drinks. What's
Yeah.
the problem?
Well, where's the? Yeah.
I don't know about
Where's the
them.
bullet?
I can't speak for them. I don't think the energy drinks are helpful in that manner. They're obviously not solving the problem, but I think of my days, and I think of all the hundreds of things I used to do, and it's not that I don't want to do them anymore. I just seem to not have the capacity anymore.
Well, let's
to
talk a
do
little
that.
bit about being boy parent, because I've come to some conclusions, and mine are all adults, and so some things right, some things wrong, and
Oh, that would be great.
and I think that since I was old enough to have one, I love the video games, and I have been and I still, I was playing yesterday. I love the video games, so much fun, but but they're so different now than what they were when I was a
Yeah.
kid. Not that they didn't have the same effect, but here's what I think. I think God made men to be achievers and conquerors and builders, and to go out and take stuff down and achieve things. And we get a sense of satisfaction and in our life when we accomplish goals. And I think the biggest danger, I don't want to hyperbolize here, but a large danger for American young men right now is the ability of video games to be a complete and total placebo for actual accomplishment. So you can get on a video game, and I mean, if you do a little bit of research, you'll find this. I mean, you can look at Twitch streams or YouTube or any of that, and what you will see is, in other videos, there are young men that devote extensive amounts of time, money, treasure, and talent, right, to accomplishing things in a video game,
in a virtual world that doesn't have any payoff.
that is absolutely meaningless.
Yeah.
And it satisfies that God-given drive to achieve and conquer and build without any actual production. And I think that's a problem. I think it's a real problem in our society because, and then you pair that with the ability, I'm going to go PG-13 here a little bit, to meet their sexual needs with pornography.
Yeah, no, my mind was there too. It's a virtual world that's, it's fake. It's,
And
it's easier.
why leave the house?
Yeah, right.
Well,
So you've kind of succeed. I mean, you're like at stage 1 success because it looks like all is well with yours. And it's not been that many years ago where you were kind of in the throes of development.
yeah.
Did you feel like you were being attacked by? I don't know.
No,
I don't
no,
even know who
I don't-
I don't know who I'm being attacked by. So here's the thing. My boys have a hard time. They can put out 210%, which I know that's rough, right? They can put out 210% and have often been bested by a young lady who put out 105. Because it seems like everybody is afraid to let the young men win.
Oh, I see.
these
Oh,
days.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the beginnings of that? Did you in the arenas that
Well,
you all were in?
I think we've seen that for decades. What I remember, as a young man, I guess junior high, elementary school. You remember the after school specials? Mm-hmm. They were all about some girl winning. Mm-hmm. They were all about some girl winning. It was that the whole media.
Look what I can do.
Yeah, the whole media in the 80s, I think, was all very young, female-oriented. You know, look at what women can do. Look at what women can do. And I'm not down on that. I mean, women
Right. There was a place for that.
Yeah,
But maybe not all.
maybe an
always.
overemphasis.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right. There you
and,
go.
And I think what I would, in that vein, Emma, what I would find frustrating for my boys as all straight white Christian young men is you get a book that thick, and here are all the scholarships that your kids can apply for. Well, and by the time you take out the ones that you can't get because you're white, that you can't get because you're Christian, that you can't get because you're male, there's not much left.
Yeah.
They're all
That's true.
They're and you know, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we're not poor either, you know, and so we miss out on that, and that's okay. Because I believe in private scholarships, you can give those to anybody you choose.
Right.
Government money has to be available to everyone.
Right.
You can't pick and choose who you give government money to.
Really?
Morally.
Anyway, we won't,
Morally.
Yeah, I was going to say we won't get into
Morally, ethically, but if you're a private foundation, you can
Yeah.
you can target all you want.
whoever you
That's
want.
your charity to give away. But I would say that's where I think
Yeah.
the rub is. There's just those scholarship opportunities aren't available for the young white men.
Well, one of the things that I focused on with my boys was having those conversations about the virtual world versus the real world, and bringing real clarity in their minds to you are of another world, and so you're not going to fit in certain ways. And we're not even looking at those metrics. So get used to this. So, and a popular phrase I used, or common phrase I used with my boys was, "You weren't made for high school. Your life is going to really take off after graduation." So just wanted to have that in their mind that whatever happens here, don't worry about it. If you don't get acknowledged, if you're not in the crowd, if you're not here, but it's afterwards that you're going to find your people and you're going to hit your stride because we've been building you for adulthood, not for some.
Yeah.
You're not going to peak in high school, thank goodness.
No, yeah, that's it. And with the wrong criteria for what peak looks like anyway. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was something we spent a lot of time focusing on.
We too have been really trying to keep the mindset of raising adults. You know, people say, "Oh, I'm raising my kids," or "I'm raising kids." No, we were raising adults. We're raising citizens.
Very good.
And we get lots of censure from even some, you know, within our own family for that. And we're like, well, but they need to know that.
Well, some people have the right external ideas, but they don't have the understanding of why they hold those ideas. And so when you have to, make an application in an area that you haven't been in yet, you may reach the wrong conclusion, even though you've got the right idea. Since you don't know where that idea comes from.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you may not reach the right conclusion when you think about it in a different context.
Yeah.
So it's important to know not just what you believe, but why you believe it.
Yeah.
And that really helps you make wise decisions in any type of context.
Yeah.
All right, that's all the wisdom we got for you today. That was deep.
That's all my gray hair.
Just emanating.
Oh
from
boy,
over
I guess
here.
we'll do it again next week. So
All
thanks
right.
for watching.
We'll see you
Visit
then.
Emma at the Outpost.
That's right. We'll be there on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
She's got your mums. We'll see you next week.